Mark in the minivan. Pearl in the minivan. We are driving. Breaking Ozzy Osbourne news, which we're going to get to in a minute. KK Downing news. Judas Priest news. Starbucks. Vinnie Vincent. Miss Vincent if you're nasty. Of course there's all sorts of Vinnie stuff, which I'm just so on the fence about whether I should continue to talk about Vinnie Vincent because I'm kind of sick of her. But I don't know, man. There's so much weirdness there that I think we're gonna have to devote a full episode to the Kool-Aid drinkers who are posting these videos about Vinnie shredding, and now there's this weird letter that went up where Vinnie explains why he didn't shred at the 4x pre-Kiss Cruise concert, and which I get. You know, I'm a guitar player. Vinnie says he didn't want to shred there because he didn't have his own gear. And there's something to that, man. I mean, I get it. I get it. When you plug into an amp that's not yours, and you have a different sound. It's like trying to run a marathon in in shoes you're not used to. But basically, the Kool-Aid drinkers, the Vinnie Vincent Kool-Aid drinkers, are now just proclaiming that Vinnie has proved himself. He did the shredding in front of us, and we know he can still play. And they go way overboard talking about how he can still play and stuff. It's just weird. And there's a lot to unwrap there and think about. And I'm not saying he didn't shred. Maybe he did. I'm also saying that it's possible that there were other things happening and delusional behavior by the handful of people that were there. Who knows? But there's a lot to uncover there, so I do think we need to, at some point, devote a full, long episode of either this Mark in the Minivan episode thing or the Talking Metal podcast to unwrapping the whole did Vinnie shred at the birthday bash thing. A lot of mystery still there. Anyways, big news, I think. I mean, Ozzy Osbourne does a show on Sirius XM on Ozzy's Boneyard. It's also on demand on the Sirius app called Ozzy Speaks. And it's always fun, man. I always enjoy listening to it because it's Ozzy kind of just talking, man, and it's good. And anyways, in this, I wish they did more of them. But in this most recent one, he talks about that in the downtime, you know, he's been injured. He's been his health hasn't been perfect, so he's nursing himself back to health. The whole farewell tour has been postponed significantly. He mentions he's hoping that he's ready to start getting out there and gigging again in January. We hope so. We love Ozzy Osbourne, and we hope you're able to get it together for January. I'm praying and hoping that we will see you June 25th. I'll be in the third row, Ozzy, at Madison Square Garden, so please look for me. I'm really looking forward to that concert. But anyways, he reveals on this new episode of Ozzy Speaks that he's been doing songwriting. So here in the downtime, you know, while he's healing and getting better. So this is where we're at. There's been no announcement that there's going to be an actual Ozzy Osbourne solo record. And I think in the Ozzy Speaks episode, he does downplay that. He says he doesn't know what he's going to do with it. He says it might be great, the music he's working on. It might be okay. He almost like takes it down a notch. Like he's not saying this stuff is the most amazing stuff ever. He says he's writing with somebody named Andrew. Now, somebody in the comments section when I posted this on Twitter or Facebook or somewhere said, Andrew Watt? That's a good guess. But there's probably thousands of other songwriters named Andrew too. So who knows who this Andrew guy is that he's doing some songwriting with. We do know that Ozzy has already done, it sounds like 3 songs with Steve Stevens. And I spoke to Steve recently on the Talking Metal podcast. And he revealed that one of those 3 songs has really risen to the top. And I guess this guy Billy Morrison co-wrote that with Ozzy and Steve Stevens. I'm not sure about that, but that's what it sounds like. So there you go. There are definitely Ozzy Osbourne songs in the works, guys. New music. And you can't help but think that if he's not just doing this for fun, maybe he is. I mean, that's kind of how he plays it off. He's doing it because he's got time on his hands. But there's got to be some plan down the road that this stuff's going to be released. And he also makes a joke on Ozzy Speaks about how long this farewell tour is going to go on. So I expect, like Slayer, like Motley Crue, it will be just the farewell tour that keeps going and going and going and going. That's what I expect. And we've already seen this tour once. Or at least, I mean, when I say we, I mean Emily and I, at PNC here in New Jersey. And then we have tickets to see it at Madison Square Garden. And who knows, maybe there'll even be one more final round of the farewell tour after that. No more tours too. And that's all it is. Because you know, like he said, it's just that he's not going to do these extensive tours anymore. It doesn't mean there won't be more concerts. It doesn't mean that he's necessarily retiring. And he talks about all this in the new episode of Ozzy Speaks. And again, makes a joke about how long this tour is going to go on. So there you go. On the KK Downing, one of the innovators of heavy metal guitar, KK Downing. Some recent developments. We obviously know that he killed it when he went on stage with Ross the Boss at whatever that was, Bloodstock. And has proven that he can get up in front of thousands and thousands, unlike Vinnie Vincent, has proven that he can get up in front of thousands and thousands of people and play his ass off and run around the stage, and he looks great and he sounds great. And like I said, with Vinnie, maybe he can, maybe he won't, maybe he can't, but I'm not going to believe the Kool-Aid drinkers, okay? But with KK, there's no doubt he can still do this. The video's out there. He did a great job. And I had warned KK on this video, which I'm sure he doesn't watch, on the Mark and the Minivan episodes. Don't do it if you can't do it. Well, he can do it. And Judas Priest has taken note. We've seen Richie Faulkner say something about it, that he sounded great. And then Halford was recently asked about it and didn't rule it out, didn't shut it down, that KK wouldn't return to the band. And as a Priest fan, I've had so many of you guys comment on this, and listen, yeah, man, if they're going to do a 50th anniversary tour or whatever, get KK back. There's really there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Get him back. He can play. Listen, I know the money thing is always tough between you guys because you're nickeling and diming. Everyone thinks they deserve more money. Work it out. Work it fucking out, man. I mean, get KK back in the band. Unlike Maiden, who come through the New Jersey, New York area, you know, every 3, sometimes 2, but usually every 3 or so years. Priest comes through here all the fucking time, man. I'm a massive Priest fan. It's almost been too much for me. I saw Priest 2 times last year, and then I've seen him before that. I mean, they come through and they don't fill the arenas. They're half filled. It's unlike Maiden, who's like selling shit out. And so first of all, take some time off, guys, and come back strong in 6 months, a year with KK. And if that's the 51st year of your career, then so be it. But listen, there's you only got 2 guys in the band now, 2 original members of the classic lineup. I guess maybe 2.5. You could count. Scott has been in the band a long time, and so we'll say 2.5 of the classic lineup. Some people would say, well, that was Dave Holland, that was Les Binks. Well, whatever. I mean, Scott's probably been in the band longer than any of those guys. So let's get KK back. This is what needs to happen for Priest, for us fans. And listen, read the comments. People agree with me. We got to do something to make Priest exciting again, and digging deep into the catalog is not going to do that. All right? Sorry. It's just not. We need to do something very exciting for this 50th anniversary tour of Priest. And that's that, man. Yeah, that's that. KK needs to come back. So love you guys. Check me out on Patreon. If for some bizarre reason you want more of these terrible videos, go to Patreon and support me there. You can get exclusive video content, more podcasts, a bonus. I do a free podcast every Tuesday. It just came out. Got the band Satan, a classic new wave of British heavy metal band, on the most recent episode, and also Spread Eagle. So check that out. Two classic bands on the most recent episode of Talking Metal. We're going for a 2-mile walk. I'm scared of coyotes ever since I saw a coyote sitting in this exact location. So I used to really like walking through the forest. Now I'm on edge. I'm nervous. But Pearl, I've been walking her on leash around my neighborhood, and she just needs to run free because she loves it. So, but it's scary because I don't want her to get killed by a coyote like another dog did here recently. So, well, not killed, but very badly injured. So, wish me luck, and love you guys. Check out my Talking Metal podcast. Subscribe to it on Spotify, Google Podcasts, or Apple Podcasts. Later.